What's up, magical people? Welcome back to Your Most Magical Life. I'm Mia Magic, and today we are talking about the Spring Equinox, also known as Ostara, the original celebration of Easter, one of our ancient holy days or holidays, a solar alignment. This is the midpoint between the winter solstice and the summer solstice when the days are equal. And so if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, this video is about the autumn equinox, slightly different energy, but it is a very potent and powerful time. And speaking of that, if you would like to join me for a free week-long event all about the magic of manifestation, make sure you click the link below. This is going to be one of my absolute favorite creations ever. I've been really wanting to share with all of you. I've created an incredible framework and really deep understanding of how I've actually manifested my incredible dream life and all this epic press and the Today Show and book deals and money and love and community and all of the things that I really want everyone to be able to have. So if you'd like to join me, click the link below. This weekend, the equinox depends on the year. It's sometimes on the 20th, it's sometimes on the 21st, it can be as late as the 23rd. So this is really an opportunity for us to look back at the darkness of winter. So what have we experienced in the 3 months since the winter solstice, the darkest night of the year? And what do we hope to experience in the next 3 months for the longest day of the year, the brightest day of the year, where there's the most sun? And also going back to the fall equinox. So what have I experienced in these 6 months? What did I learn leading up to that darkest day? What did I learn about my darkness? What did I learn about my shadows? What am I learning about my light or my power or my gifts as the light is returning? And how can I utilize this energy of resurrection, which the original meaning of resurrection was actually awakening. So it's about the earth reawakening. It's about the return of verdant life, spring, chickens start laying eggs again, which is why we have Easter eggs, bunnies, rabbits, why we have an Easter bunny, start really popping out those babies. You know, like we don't say fuck like rabbits for no reason, because rabbits be fucking and they be making lots of babies. And this is the season when those two animals, many animals, all animals, spring lambs, right? But they are really in their fertility. This is the season, the celebration of fertility. Now, the pagan Sabbath, or what we celebrated this day as in our ancient and ancestral times and traditions, was Ostara. Ostara is the goddess of fertility. And so she was represented by all of these different traditions that we have. The eggs are about the seeds, about what's growing. That's why we would color them and send intentions into them. Working with them was a form of sympathy magic, which is using one thing to represent another in order to like plant the seeds of what we desire. And that's how Easter egg hunts were born. It's like, where are the seeds? How do we find the seeds? We're gathering the seeds in order to cultivate what's coming next, in order to enhance and support what we're growing. My cat's in heat right now, speaking of fertility. So if y'all hear a lot of screaming and yowling, that's what's happening. And so this time, from my perspective, especially through the lens of manifestation, and if you're wanting to manifest something, if you're wanting to bring something good or big into your life, we have to look at all of these pieces, right? Seeds are thrust into the darkness. They are thrust down into the unknown. And it is their innate intelligence and divine design that allows them to fruit, to blossom, to grow, to transform from this little seed that we look at and we're like, oh, cool. And then it becomes a tree. It's like how redwoods, most of y'all know I'm from the redwoods, and redwoods are the tallest trees on earth, and they have the smallest cones of almost any conifer. So it's incredible how does this tiny little seed become this massive ancient being. So we get to look at how we are resurrecting, how we are awakening, how we are regrowing our minds, our bodies, our spirits during this time. Now, because this is the day of balance, it's all about that journey, right? In order to grow from the seed, first I have to be thrust into the darkness, because most seeds, not all, but most seeds, if you just leave them on the surface and don't put them down into the earth, they can't like gather the nutrients that they need, connect with the mycelial networks, they get dried out from the sun. But once they receive the nourishment that they need from the darkness, from the underworld, then they are able to grow and receive that light, and it becomes energy that allows them to fulfill their destiny, what they were designed for. So this leads me to a factoid that I just learned recently, that did you know that carbon, of course, is one of the most common substances in our universe? Carbon is what makes diamonds. But the earth presses carbon, compresses down harder and harder and harder until it becomes a diamond. There are entire planets made of diamonds. There are planets where it rains diamonds. Like, ouch, but whoa. And yet, the only place where wood has ever been found is on our planet. It is so special. Trees are so sacred. They are so precious. I'm looking out on the oaks, the valley oaks and live oaks here in Topanga right now. And they're just such a blessing. And they're so sentient and they're so alive. And they are so worthy of our savoring and our celebrating and our reverence. So how can you understand that same aspect within yourself? What's growing within me? What, again, did I learn? What have I taken from, or received from, rather, let's receive from the darkness, from, again, looking back to autumn equinox, so end of September, what you've experienced since that period of time, leading into the darkness. So this was like kind of my last light. Not really, right? But this is all metaphorical. This is how the Bible came to be. It's all metaphor and allegory. It's all story that allows us to understand our own processes of awakening. So how did the last light show me, illuminate for me that which I needed in order to be thrust into the darkness, to be able to survive, to be able to thrive, to be able to, again, receive the knowledge? How was I illuminated, opened, awakened, right? That's the resurrection that's coming, in order to then be thrust into or experience the darkness as we do in winter, unless you live in Southern California, which is why I was in upstate New York and Montana. It was like such a fucking vibe. I actually love winter. I didn't know how much I love winter. I love it. And from that darkness, from that perceived barrenness, that dormancy, what do we gather? Information, right? Again, all metaphor. So the mycelial networks, information, sustenance, nourishment that fuels us and allows us to grow and be reawakened. So thinking back 6 months from September, where have you been? What have you done? How have you grown? How have you shifted? How have you become more aware of your darkness? How have you related to your darkness differently? And what information from your darkness, what wisdom, what insight allows you to rise, to be reawakened, to emerge into this springtime energy, to be reborn in the way that is most in alignment with what you desire to create, with what you desire to receive, with what you believe you are destined or divinely designed to become. Because Ostara, again, and this is the Celtic word, so there's, in every tradition, there's going to be a name for this holy day. And so I'm just going off of the Celtic tradition because that's like the basis of most modern paganism. I don't personally resonate with like any of the labels. I just am like an earth-based spiritual practitioner and a goddess worshiper. But that doesn't discount the god. I just got these epic 2 little candle holders and it's like the doe and the stag. You gotta have both. It takes 2 to tango. We are all both. We are all masculine and feminine. None of us is just one thing. And so what are you learning, receiving, creating from this archetype of the goddess of fertility? So how can you tune in with your feminine side, or whatever that archetype is in your tradition or in the traditions that you study, whether that's Anishinaabe or Apache or Mayan, Incan, Antarctic. Not like there's a lot of people down there, but you know what I mean. Siberian, wherever you're from, whatever you're interested in, whatever traditions resonate most with you, you can find this archetype. So this would be like Freya in the Norse tradition, which is where we get our word for Friday and all of our other planetary names for the days. Different video. How can I connect with the archetype of the fertile, fecund feminine? Not to discount my masculine energy, but in fact, to understand that today is about the balance and then moving into that feminine fertility, right? That the consciousness of winter, and there's a lot of different, some people are like, oh, winter's feminine and no, summer's masculine and da-da. It's like, Okay, cool. Yeah, everybody has different ways of looking at it. Like a lot of the elemental associations with the seasons, I don't resonate with personally. So you make it your own, but understand that this day is about balance. This weekend is about celebrating balance, the god and the goddess, the masculine and the feminine, and how you exist on that spectrum, and understanding that darkness and light are not two different things. They are two ends of a spectrum. And how do you want to understand your role operating on that spectrum, dancing between the darkness and light? Because we have to go down in there. We have to understand our shadows. Y'all, healing is the most important manifestation tool. That's why, y'all know, I'm a healer. That is my magic. That is what I do with all of my one-on-one clients. That's what even all my programs like Witchy Rich, all about manifesting money. But how do we do that? By healing our relationship to scarcity. By transforming the negative and limiting beliefs that we have from our childhood that have programmed us to believe that we're not worthy, or it takes really hard work, or whatever it is. Money is the root of all evil. Money is totally fucking neutral. Money is neutral. Money in the hands of evil people can be used for evil, but money in the hands of good people can be used for good. So that's why I personally love money, is because I watch the way that I spend my money. Everything in my life, either secondhand or handmade by beautiful local artisans. I met this guy who was pounding the brass for this necklace at a French Christmas market. Totally worth buying something new. Is it a mineral from the earth? Yes. Is that a bummer? Absolutely. But this man crafted something gorgeous that I wear all the time, especially now that I've been, most of you know, Lord, I've been displaced since the fires. I moved out of my house. I went like full into the governmental conspiracy of the fires and like freaked out and left LA. I am back here right now momentarily, but I left LA and have not come back until right now, months later. So I'm still working off of my original 3 days of clothing that I went to New York City with for the Today Show. Obviously I overpacked because like I was gonna look cute, but we're still wearing the same necklace, basically. Totally worth it. This necklace has given me its own value over and over and over again. Now, in terms of that, I trust the way that I spend money. I spend money as sustainably as I possibly can. I could be 100% plastic free and I still buy the cat food in the plastic bags. It's so annoying. Drives me insane. But sometimes you can't help it. So I do my best. And that is how we balance the masculine and the feminine. That's how we use the fertile, creative energy of the feminine with the directness and the devotion to purposefulness and mindfulness of the masculine consciousness. So again, some people think of winter as feminine because it is like the barren void of the womb, and then moves into spring, and then autumn and summer are the masculine seasons. It really doesn't matter, but I feel like the masculine, like starkness, clarity of winter, again, this is my way of doing it, leads into that birth of spring. So you get to see how, and again, like it is the darkness, it is the womb. So like it's whatever. And some people say that like spring is the penetration because life is, shooting out again. So like it's all a spectrum. All the seasons have both energies. That's how everything is. But you get to choose. You get to see, how do I operate in the balance with my goddess and my god, with my masculine and my feminine, with my darkness and my light, operating on this spectrum. Same with like the money. How am I spending my money? Do I spend my money from my darkness? Do I believe inherently that money is the root of all evil? So I'm actually voting with my dollars and utilizing my resources to create less of what I want and more of what I don't want in the world? Because a lot of us are doing that. A lot. You guys, I cannot tell you how many of my conscious friends I see getting not just daily Amazon packages, but like multiple Amazon packages every day. And I'm just like, if y'all are gonna be as unconscious as the muggles, we are fucked. Because conscious people need to make conscious choices. That means supporting the kinds of people that are more connected to the earth, those who are using natural materials. There's enough clothing on this earth to clothe the next 6 generations of people right now as it is. if no other new clothes were produced. So stop buying new clothes, buy them secondhand. That's what I do. Literally everything, except every once in a while, handmade, local, artisan, natural material things, because it's worth it. But you get to choose, especially on this day. How am I going to move forward? What do I want to create? What does that balance in my world look like? And now some of the epic little easy rituals you can do, like I got to go to my storage unit, find some extra clothes, do a little reorganization, and I'm going to do a little spring cleaning. That is not just a like weird cliche thing. It's because we want to move out some of that old, stuck, or stagnant energy. The way that the leaves fell from the trees in autumn for that winter dormance, which autumn's a great time for cleaning. It's always good to clean out your shit, right? But literally and figuratively. But this is a great time to do that because you are, by releasing what's old, inviting in new energy. You're inviting in, okay, now I've made more space for what's being reborn, for what's birthing through me, for what I want to create. And so that's a great thing to do. Really, the most important ritual that I think for us all, and like I did this with my therapist yesterday. Well, I did EMDR, which is like definitely balance, but is looking at, okay, what am I most intending to birth, to bring to life? How can I utilize my divine feminine energy to create that, to be in the receptivity of the insight, of the wisdom, of the information? And then what do I need to do as my masculine to make it happen? How do I need to take action? How do I need to use that fire, that drive inside of me that now, after the equinox, we're moving into these longer days. So this is the last section of time, right? After the winter solstice, the days start to get longer. Now they're equal this weekend. And then this is the last section of the quarter of the year where the days will get longer. And then after summer solstice, they get shorter again. So how do I use this last moments, which, you know, it's going to keep cycling around forever, but we hope so. People are like, the solar flares. I'm like, okay, that's beyond my scope right now, but great. So how do we utilize this last quarter of growth with the light and the sun to reach that pinnacle energy? How do we do that? How do we connect with that in our lives, with our energy, with our action, with our motivation to reach that climatic moment within ourselves? Which doesn't mean, oh, then we just fall off. It's like, it's another part of the cycle. This is the part of the climax that I'm creating right now. So that is my invitation to you all. Again, I would love to have you join me for the Magic of Manifestation. It's April 7th through 15th. It is a full week-long, absolutely 100% free experience. It's going to be so epic. We have incredible speakers like Queen Herbie. So dope. Yes. We like fangirl each other and then became friends. And I'm like, this is it. Like, come on. These witches all need to be in a coven. You know what I'm saying? So thank you all so much for watching this video. It is such an incredible joy to be back on the tube because I went into a trauma response and folded myself in after the fires. And it was really important for me to learn the lessons of winter. I received more from the stillness and silence and snow than I could have ever possibly imagined. And so that's another part of it, is like what's expected, what's unexpected, what might come from the mystery, and how can you actually allow yourself to surrender to the mystery in order to receive its greatest blessings. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, make sure that you sign up for the Magic of Manifestation. Would love to have you. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and on this video. Share it with anyone you think might resonate with it. As always, it is my deepest honor and greatest pleasure to welcome you to your most magical life. I'm Mia Magic. Thank you all so much.